Number 1. 2003 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS Coupe 2D. The 2003 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS Jeff Gordon Edition, priced at $15,500, is a perfect snapshot of early 2000s American performance culture. Finished in bold blue with Jeff Gordon signature graphics, this coupe makes it clear that it was born during NASCAR's golden era. The body carries those smooth, rounded GM lines typical of the time, paired with an aggressive SS front fascia and a subtle rear spoiler. It's not overly flashy, but it has presence. Even though it's front-wheel drive, it still gives off that muscle coupe attitude that defined American sporty cars back then. This particular example shows just 21,800 miles, which is incredibly low for a car that's over 20 years old. According to the seller, it's completely original and authentic, with documentation to prove it. The tires are brand new but replaced with proper OEM specifications, keeping everything factory correct. Inside, the gray interior looks clean and well preserved. Everything reportedly works exactly as it should, which is always reassuring when dealing with a car from this era. Under the hood sits the dependable 3.8-liter V6 paired with an automatic transmission. This engine is known for smooth power delivery and long-term reliability. It's not a high-revving sports machine, it's more about effortless cruising. Fuel economy sits around 17 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway, which is respectable for a sporty coupe from its time. Behind the wheel, you'd experience that classic American ride: soft suspension, relaxed steering, and a comfortable highway feel. The beauty of this Monte Carlo is that it doesn't need a full restoration, it needs preservation. Because it's an original Jeff Gordon edition with low mileage and documentation, keeping it stock is the key to protecting its future value. Clean examples like this are getting harder to find, especially untouched ones. At $15,500, this isn't just an old coupe, it's a preserved piece of early 2000s American car culture. For the right enthusiast, it could be both a fun weekend cruiser and a future collectible. Definitely an interesting car that represents a very specific era and one that still carries plenty of character today. Number 2. The 1962 Chevrolet Nova Chevy II, priced at $24,500, is a clean example of early 60s American simplicity done right. Finished in bright red inside and out, this car has that classic compact muscle look before the muscle car era officially exploded. The body lines are straight and clean, with that boxy early 60s silhouette that feels lightweight and honest. It's not oversized, not overly aggressive, just pure vintage American steel. The chrome trim, simple grille design, and balanced proportions give it timeless charm. This is the kind of car that turns heads not because it's flashy, but because it's authentic. This Nova shows around 80,000 miles and is described as a very nice driver. It runs and drives great, powered by a 327 small block Chevy paired with an automatic transmission, a solid, reliable combo for cruising. The interior is said to be all original, including the dash and seats, and in excellent shape. Even the radio works, which is always a cool touch in a classic like this. The paint is driver quality, meaning it has some scratches, a small dent, and minor imperfections, plus a couple of small rust areas. But importantly, the frame rails, floor pans, and trunk are solid and clean. Underneath condition is described as very clean, which is huge for a car of this age. It also comes with original purchase paperwork and a clean, clear title. That's the kind of history collectors love. With the 327 small block under the hood, this Nova has the kind of V8 character that makes classic American cars so enjoyable. Plenty of low-end torque, a nice rumble, and smooth automatic shifting. It's built to cruise. It's not about razor-sharp handling or modern refinement. It's about rolling down the road, windows down, listening to that small block V8, and enjoying the simplicity of a 1960s driving experience. Light, raw, and mechanical in the best way. At $24,500, this Nova sits in that sweet spot between usable classic and potential investment. It doesn't need a full restoration, it's already a solid driver. You could enjoy it as is, or slowly improve the paint and address minor imperfections over time. Because the structure underneath is clean and solid, that's the hardest part already handled. For someone wanting a classic Chevy with real V8 power and documented history, this is a very appealing package. Number 3. The 1979 GMC Sprint, priced at $9,500, is one of those late-70s American classics that perfectly captures the muscle meets utility vibe. At first glance, it looks very similar to an El Camino, and that familiar shape is exactly what makes it so cool. Finished in a deep burgundy exterior with a black interior, this Sprint carries that bold, period-correct presence. The long hood, squared front end, and smooth integration into the truck bed give it that unmistakable coupe utility silhouette. It's got attitude without being over the top, and the color combination gives it a mature, confident look. This is the kind of classic that stands out simply because you don't see many GMC versions anymore. This Sprint shows around 94,000 miles and is described as running and driving very well. Power comes from a 350 V8 paired with an automatic 350 transmission, a classic and dependable American drivetrain known for strong torque and reliability. What makes this car more interesting is that it was built years ago as a show car. The frame and driveshaft are painted to match the body, which is a detail you usually only see on more serious builds. It also features Hotchkiss suspension and Edelbrock shocks, giving it an upgraded feel compared to a stock late-70s setup. Originally an AC car, the air conditioning and heating components have been removed. So if comfort systems matter to you, that's something to plan for. But mechanically, it's described as solid and ready to cruise. With a 350 V8 under the hood, this Sprint delivers that unmistakable American V8 rumble. There's plenty of low-end torque, making it easy and relaxed to drive around town or on the highway. The automatic transmission keeps things smooth, while the upgraded suspension setup should make it feel tighter and more planted than most factory cars from 1979. It's not about modern refinement, it's about character. You roll the windows down, listen to that V8 growl, and just enjoy the simplicity of classic American driving. This is the kind of vehicle you can take to local meets, cruise nights, or just enjoy on a sunny weekend without worrying too much. At $9,500, this 1979 GMC Sprint represents serious value. You're getting a running, driving V8 classic with showcar details and upgraded suspension for under 10 grand. It doesn't sound like a full project car, more like a solid base that you can improve over time. Reinstalling the AC system, refining small cosmetic touches, and preserving the unique show details could really elevate it. For someone wanting something different from the usual muscle car crowd, this Sprint offers uniqueness without breaking the bank. Number 4. The 1976 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray L82, priced at $17,000, represents everything bold and dramatic about mid-70s American sports cars. This is the iconic C3 generation, with its long sculpted hood, sharp nose, and flowing fender lines that make it instantly recognizable from a mile away. Finished in blue with a black interior, this Corvette carries that classic color combo that feels both sporty and timeless. It sits low, wide, and aggressive, exactly how a Stingray should. This particular car is highly optioned, featuring aluminum wheels, leather bucket seats, a tilt telescopic steering wheel, and power windows. It even comes with both sets of T-tops, glass and painted, giving you flexibility depending on the vibe you're going for. This Stingray shows just 34,000 miles, which is impressively low for a 1976 model. Under the hood sits the special 354-barrel V8, paired with an automatic transmission. It's also equipped with the Gymkhana suspension package, which was designed to enhance handling and give the car a more performance-oriented feel. Over $5,500 worth of upgrades were completed at 33,000 miles, and the seller has receipts to back it up. That includes brake calipers, pads front and rear, brake hoses, brake lines, coolant service, window switches, seat adjustments, hood pad installation, and more. Mechanically, it's described as running great and needing nothing, ready to go. The paint shows some light patina. Nothing alarming, and there's a small crack or scrape on the right rear wheel well that will be touched up before sale. Originally an AC car, the system will need updating, but overall the vehicle is stated to have no significant issues. Behind the wheel of this L82, you're getting that classic small block V8 rumble that defines American sports cars. The 354-barrel delivers strong mid-range power, and with the automatic transmission, it's smooth and effortless to drive. The Gymkhana suspension adds a more planted, confident feel compared to a base setup. You sit low in those leather bucket seats, looking over that long blue hood, and it feels special every time you fire it up. It's not about modern technology, it's about raw presence, sound, and connection to the road. This is the kind of car that turns a simple weekend drive into an experience. At $17,000, this 1976 Corvette Stingray L82 offers serious value for a highly optioned C3 with documented upgrades and low mileage. The heavy mechanical work has already been handled, which makes ownership less intimidating. Future improvements could focus on refreshing the AC system and possibly giving the paint a full respray if someone wants a showroom finish. But as it stands, it's a solid driver with strong bones and desirable options. For anyone wanting an affordable entry into classic Corvette ownership, especially an L82, this is a compelling package. Number 5. 2005 Ford Mustang V6 Premium, $7,600. This is a 2005 Mustang V6 Premium with 125,000 miles, finished in red on red, and honestly, it has that classic mid-2000s Mustang attitude written all over it. The S197 body style really brought back that retro muscle look, long hood, wide stance, bold grille, and even in V6 form, it still turns heads. The red exterior paired with a matching red interior gives it a strong personality. It's not shy, it's not subtle, and that's exactly the point of a Mustang like this. Under the hood you've got the 4.0-liter V6 paired with a manual transmission, which makes this car a lot more engaging than people expect. It runs and drives great, with no mechanical issues reported, and it's been well maintained. This isn't a project car, it's a daily driver that's ready for the road right now. The owner even mentions it's still being driven daily, so mileage will slowly go up, but that also tells you it's dependable. From a condition standpoint, it's solid. No major damage, no significant problems. The only cosmetic issue mentioned is some paint chipping or fading in certain areas, which is completely normal for a 2005 car. Nothing structural, nothing alarming, just typical aging. It's also a non-smoker, pet-free car, which is always a plus when you're looking for something clean inside. It even comes with matching red floor mats and additional black rubber mats, which shows the owner cared about keeping the interior protected. Behind the wheel, this Mustang offers that classic rear-wheel drive balance. The manual gearbox gives you full control, making it more fun on back roads or even just commuting to work. It may not be a V8 GT, but the V6 still delivers enough power to keep things interesting, while being more practical and affordable to maintain. For someone looking to get into a Mustang without breaking the bank, this is a smart entry point. At $7,600, this 2005 Mustang V6 Premium sits in a very attractive price range. It's affordable, reliable, and still has that American muscle presence. There's also potential here. Fix the small paint imperfections, maybe upgrade the wheels or suspension, and you could really elevate the look. The seller is open to offers and even trades, possibly for a truck or another sports car, so there's flexibility on the table. Overall, this is the kind of Mustang that makes sense. It's not overcomplicated, it's not abused, and it's ready to be enjoyed. A clean, honest daily driver with style. And with that, let's see what the next classic has to offer. Number 6. 1969 Ford Mustang Coupe 2D. 1969 Ford Mustang Coupe 2D price $22,500. This is a true California classic, an original black plate car with just 2 owners, finished in factory Gulfstream Aqua. And let me tell you, that color alone gives this Mustang a whole different vibe. It's not the typical red or black you see everywhere. This soft green tone with black interior just screams late 60s cool, clean, confident, and timeless. Under the hood, you've got the original 302 V8 paired with the original C4 automatic transmission. That's the kind of drivetrain combo that makes these cars so enjoyable. Smooth power delivery, classic small block rumble, and easy cruising thanks to the automatic. Add in factory power steering and factory power disc brakes, and this is a vintage car that doesn't feel intimidating to drive. It's classic, but it's comfortable. The paint is described as phenomenal, and the undercarriage is immaculate with zero rust, something that's becoming harder and harder to find on a 69. Being a lifelong California car definitely helps. The interior is in great shape too, with a new dash and carpet recently installed, keeping it fresh while still respecting its originality. It also rides on period-correct 6868 GT-style wheels wrapped in new BF Goodrich radial T/A tires, which gives it that perfect muscle stance. The dual exhaust system with MagnaFlow mufflers adds a deeper tone, nothing obnoxious, just that proper V8 growl when you step on it. And with only 16,132 miles shown, this car presents incredibly well. On the road, this Mustang is more of a cruiser than a track car. It's the kind of car you take out on a sunny afternoon, windows down, just enjoying the sound of that 302 and the feel of a true American icon. It runs and drives beautifully, according to the seller, and with factory air conditioning, it's even more enjoyable in warm weather. At $22,500, this is a very compelling package. Original drivetrain, zero rust, 2-owner history, factory options, and that beautiful Gulfstream Aqua finish. There's not much you'd need to restore here, if anything. It's already at the stage where you simply preserve it. Maintain it, detail it, maybe upgrade subtly if you want, but honestly, it's strong as it sits. Clean California title in hand, registration active through 2027, and even shipping available. For someone looking to step into a late 60s Mustang that's honest, solid, and ready to enjoy, this one checks a lot of boxes. And with that, let's move on and see what other classic gems are waiting for us next. Number 7. 1997 Chevrolet Corvette price $13,500. This is the first year of the C5 generation, a 1997 Corvette 6-speed hardtop finished in white over black, showing 108,000 miles. And if you know Corvettes, you know the C5 was a major turning point. This is where Chevy really stepped into modern performance territory with a completely new chassis and the legendary LS platform. Even today, the design still looks sleek, low, and purpose-built. Long nose, tight rear end, and that unmistakable Corvette stance. Under the hood sits the 5.7-liter LS1 V8 paired with that 6-speed manual transmission. And that's where this car really shines. The LS1 is known for being strong, reliable, and extremely tunable. Stock, it already delivers serious performance, but the real beauty of an LS car is the potential. Whether you keep it factory or build it into something wilder, the foundation is there. According to the seller, it runs and drives great. It's been used as a daily driver, and overall it's mechanically solid. There are a few minor quirks. Occasionally it goes into limp mode about once a month, but it doesn't leave you stranded. Just cycle the ignition and you're back on the road. The oil pressure sensor needs replacement, but it doesn't affect drivability. And the driver's side HVAC actuator can act up. though a brand new replacement part is included with the car. These aren't deal breakers, they're typical small fixes you'd expect on a performance car of this age. From a driving standpoint, this car is pure sports car. Lightweight compared to modern performance cars, balanced chassis, rear-wheel drive, and that manual gearbox, it gives you full control. The hardtop version is especially desirable because it's lighter and structurally stiffer than the Targa models. On a back road, this thing still feels alive. At $13,500, this is a strong value entry into true American V8 sports car territory. You're getting a manual LS1 car, solid driver condition, and room to personalize or upgrade. Fix the small issues, maybe add some subtle performance mods, and you've got a seriously fun machine for relatively affordable money. No trades, no payments, straight sale. And honestly, clean C5 manual cars at this price are getting harder to find. And with that, let's roll on to the next classic and see what else is out there. Number 8, 1979 Triumph Spitfire Coupe. Price $4,500. This is a 1979 Triumph Spitfire convertible, a lightweight British roadster finished in red with a black interior, showing 65,000 miles. And right away, you can tell this car is all about classic, open-top driving. Small, low to the ground, simple lines, chrome accents, it's got that unmistakable vintage European charm. This isn't muscle car loud. It's old school, analog, wind in your hair kind of fun. Under the hood, you've got a simple 4-cylinder engine paired with a manual transmission. The car will start and run, which is always a good sign for a project at this price point. But let's be clear, this one needs maintenance before it's fully road ready. The carburetor currently leaks fuel due to a broken float spring, so it'll need a rebuild kit. The clutch works and shifts properly but will eventually need replacement. The brakes also need to be gone through. The good news? The cooling system has already been upgraded. It comes with a new aluminum radiator, new hoses, thermostat, and fresh coolant. That's a solid improvement, especially on classic British cars where cooling can sometimes be a weak point. It also has new tires and freshly powder-coated wheels, which really help the overall presentation. From a driving perspective, once sorted, this Spitfire is all about connection. Lightweight chassis, manual gearbox, rear-wheel drive. It's not about speed, it's about feel. You sit low, close to the road, and every turn feels mechanical and direct. On a quiet back road, top down, this car delivers a kind of charm that modern cars just can't replicate. At $4,500, this isn't just a car, it's an opportunity. Yes, it needs work. Carb rebuild, clutch in the future, brake service. But for someone who enjoys turning wrenches or wants a hands-on classic project, this is a very approachable entry into vintage European motoring. Parts availability for Spitfires is generally good, and there's strong enthusiast support out there. Clean title in hand, lots of extras included to continue building on the suspension, and a solid foundation to start from. It's not perfect, but that's kind of the point. This is a classic you build, improve, and make your own. And if you're looking for something different from the usual American V8 scene, something smaller, lighter, and uniquely British, this Spitfire might be calling your name. Let's see what classic we check out next. Number 9, 1987 Chevrolet Corvette convertible. Price $9,995. 1987 Chevrolet Corvette convertible. Price $9,995. This right here is a low-mile American classic, a 1987 Corvette convertible showing only 45,000 miles. Finished in bright red over a black leather interior, this car perfectly captures that bold 1980s sports car attitude. Sharp lines, digital-era styling, and of course those iconic flip-up headlights that still make people smile every time they pop up. Under the hood sits the 5.7-liter V8 paired with an automatic transmission. This is classic C4 performance, strong torque, smooth highway cruising, and that unmistakable small-block rumble. It's not just about straight-line speed, it's about that confident, planted feel on the road. The C4 generation was a big step forward for Corvette in terms of handling and chassis rigidity, and even today they still feel surprisingly modern behind the wheel. Condition-wise, this one stands out because of the mileage. Only 45,000 miles is impressive for a 1987, and according to the seller, it's been very well maintained and runs very well. It comes with power seats, working heat and AC, a manual folding convertible top, good tires, and even a working factory radio. And yes, the flip-up headlights are fully functional, which is always something you want to check on these cars. The black leather interior shows minor wear, which is completely expected for a car of this age, but overall it still presents nicely. Red over black is such a timeless combo for a Corvette. Top down on a sunny day, V8 rumbling, wind in your hair, this is exactly what a classic American convertible is supposed to feel like. $89,995. this 1987 Corvette convertible offers a lot of value. You're getting V8 power, open-top driving, relatively low miles, and a car that's already maintained and ready to enjoy. There's not much immediate restoration needed here. This feels more like a preservation piece. Keep it clean, maintain it properly, maybe upgrade small details over time, and just drive it. For anyone looking to get into a classic Corvette without spending big money, this could be a sweet spot. It's iconic, it's fun, and it still delivers that authentic American sports car experience. And with that, let's move on and see what other classics are waiting for us next. Number 10, 1961 Oldsmobile 88 Sedan 4D, price $9,999. Nicknamed the Topless Rocket, this 1961 Oldsmobile 88 is not your average full-size classic. Originally a four-door sedan, it's been converted into a topless four-door cruiser, yes, no roof at all. Finished in gold with a bold yellow interior, this thing has serious early 60s presence. Big chrome bumpers, long sweeping body lines, and that unmistakable wide American stance. It's dramatic, it's different, and it definitely stands out. Under the hood sits a 394 cubic inch V8 paired with a 3-speed automatic transmission. That big displacement V8 is pure old-school torque. It's not about high revs, it's about smooth, effortless cruising. According to the seller, the car runs and drives, and it was used as a summertime cruiser before being stored for about 4 months. With 67,000 miles showing on the odometer and only 2 owners, it has a solid history behind it. Now, let's talk condition. It's not perfect, and it doesn't pretend to be. There's a coolant leak that needs attention, worn throttle return springs, some scratches, and surface rust including on the bumpers. But structurally, there are no major reported issues. This is the kind of classic that's honest about its flaws. It runs, it drives, and it's ready for someone who appreciates character over perfection. One of the coolest features is the waterproof full marine upholstered interior. That makes sense, especially since this car no longer has a roof. The shaved door handles add to the custom look, giving it a cleaner, slightly hot rod vibe. This isn't a factory restoration, it's more of a custom cruiser with personality. Something you'd take to a local show or just drive around town on a sunny afternoon. At $9,999, this 1961 Oldsmobile 88 offers something you don't see every day. A big-body early 60s V8 cruiser with a topless conversion and tons of personality. There's definitely room for improvement. Fix the cooling system, address the small mechanical details, clean up the surface rust, and you could really elevate this car while keeping its unique style intact. If you're looking for a clean, factory original show car, this probably isn't it. But if you want a bold, conversation-starting American cruiser with vintage muscle and custom flair, this might be exactly what you've been searching for. And with that, let's see what other classic machines are waiting in the lineup. Number 11, 1965 Ford Mustang Coupe 2D, price $17,500. 1965 Ford Mustang Coupe 2D, price $17,500. This is where it all began. The 1965 Mustang Coupe, the car that launched the pony car era. Finished in blue over a matching blue interior, this example keeps things classic and clean. The first-generation body lines are unmistakable: long hood, short rear deck, simple chrome accents, and that timeless silhouette that still looks right no matter where you park it. Under the hood sits the original inline 6-cylinder engine paired with a 3-speed manual transmission. Now, this isn't the fire-breathing V8 version, but that's actually part of the charm. The inline 6 makes this Mustang approachable, balanced, and easy to live with. It runs and drives well, according to the seller, and offers that pure, mechanical feel you only get from a vintage manual car. With only 1,234 miles showing on the odometer and just 2 owners, this car presents itself as a well-kept classic. Whether that mileage reflects a reset or restoration period, what matters most is how it feels on the road, and this one is described as a solid driver. The interior keeps that classic Mustang simplicity, clean gauges, thin steering wheel, and that unmistakable vintage cabin atmosphere. From a driving perspective, this Mustang is more about cruising than racing. The 3-speed manual keeps you engaged, and the lightweight early chassis gives the car a nimble, connected feel. It's the kind of car you take out on a Sunday morning, windows down, shifting through gears at your own pace. It doesn't rush you, it invites you to enjoy the drive. As a restoration platform, it's also a smart choice. The inline 6 cars are often more affordable to maintain and easier to work on. You could keep it original and preserve its authenticity, or slowly upgrade suspension, wheels, or even step into a V8 swap down the road if you wanted more power. The foundation is there. Clean title, solid platform, iconic design, it checks the right boxes. At $17,500, this 1965 Mustang Coupe sits in a sweet spot for someone wanting to enter the classic Mustang world without jumping straight into high-dollar V8 territory. It's an honest, clean, first-generation Mustang that still turns heads nearly 60 years later, and honestly, cars like this remind you why the Mustang became an icon in the first place: simple, stylish, and built to be driven. Let's move on and see what classic legend we're checking out next. Number 12, the 1965 Chevrolet Nova II, priced at $16,000. The 1965 Chevrolet Nova II, priced at $16,000, is one of those classic American builds that sits right in that sweet spot between vintage charm and serious potential. This isn't just an old project car. This is a solid foundation that already has the hard work done. Finished in gray with a red interior, this Nova has that clean, muscle-era look even before the final paint goes on. The body is practically ready for paint, and what really stands out is the amount of brand new metal throughout the car. We're talking new fenders, doors, complete quarter panels, floor pan, trunk pan, cowl panels, rear cross rail. Basically, all the areas that usually rust on these cars have already been replaced. And the seller states there's absolutely no rust. That alone saves thousands in restoration headaches. Under the hood, it's running a 250 cubic inch inline 6 paired with a TH350 automatic transmission mounted on the column, sending power to a 10-bolt rear end. The carburetor was just rebuilt, so it runs and dries as it sits. It may not have that planned 383 stroker yet, but honestly, that's part of the appeal. You get a driving classic now, with room to build it into something truly wild later. The car has 67,412 miles on it and comes with a clean New Jersey title in hand. The brake system has seen major updates: new master cylinder, drums, wheel cylinders, hoses, and copper brake lines. It's sitting on American racing wheels wrapped in radial tires, giving it that proper period-correct stance. Driving a Nova like this is a raw, analog experience. No modern driver assists. No screens, just steering feel, engine noise, and that unmistakable classic car vibe. Even with the inline 6, these cars feel light and responsive, and the automatic transmission makes it easy to cruise comfortably. At $17,500, this 1965 Mustang Coupe sits in a sweet spot for someone wanting to enter the classic Mustang world without jumping straight into high-dollar V8 territory. It's an honest, clean, first-generation Mustang that still turns heads nearly 60 years later, and honestly, cars like this remind you why the Mustang became an icon in the first place: simple, stylish, and built to be driven. Let's move on and see what classic legend we're checking out next. Number 13. The 1979 Pontiac Firebird Formula Coupe 2D, priced at $16,000. The 1979 Pontiac Firebird Formula Coupe 2D, priced at $16,000, is pure late 70s American muscle attitude with just the right amount of edge. And what makes this one even more interesting? It's running a 78 front end, giving it that slightly more aggressive, earlier nose styling that a lot of Firebird fans actually prefer. Finished in blue over a black interior, this car carries that classic Pontiac presence. Long hood, low stance, wide body lines. It's the kind of car that doesn't need to scream for attention. It just naturally gets it. The paint was redone back in 1991, and while it's not a fresh show quality job, it still presents as solid driver quality. There's a little bubbling on the lower door area, but overall the body is described as solid and rust-free, which is huge for an F-body from this era. Under the hood, this is where things get properly interesting. It's powered by a Pontiac 400 cubic inch V8 paired with a 400 automatic transmission and backed by a 3.23 Posey rear end. That's a strong, classic combination. And yes, it's got the iconic Hurst lightning rod shifter. If you know, you know. That ratcheting setup is peak late 70s performance theater. Mechanically, the seller says the car has just been gone through front to back. The cylinder heads were removed and redone. It's got a new starter, new battery, a brand new Holley carburetor, a full tune-up, transmission leaks resealed, and new rear-end bearings. On top of that, like new wheels and tires mean it's ready to hit the road immediately. With 99,999 miles on the odometer, it's lived a life, but it's clearly been maintained and refreshed where it counts. Driving this Firebird would feel raw and mechanical in the best way. That 400 V8 delivers deep, throaty torque, and with the 3.23 Posey setup, you're getting solid off-the-line punch while still being comfortable on the highway. The automatic transmission makes cruising easy, and honestly, this feels like the kind of car you take out on warm evenings just to listen to the engine and enjoy the ride. As for restoration potential, this is a great candidate for someone who wants options. You could keep it exactly as it is, a clean, driver-quality classic that's mechanically sorted, or take it further with a fresh paint job and detail work to elevate it to show level. The foundation is there. Solid body, strong drivetrain, no major reported issues. At $16,000, you're getting a real deal Pontiac 400-powered Firebird with classic muscle credentials and unique character thanks to that lightning rod shifter setup. If you're into old-school V8 torque and unmistakable American styling, this Firebird definitely checks the boxes. Let's move on to the next classic. Number 14. The 1974 Chevrolet Corvette Convertible 2D, priced at $22,500.
Order for a little cruise. Haven't drove in a while.
The 1974 Chevrolet Corvette Convertible 2D, priced at $22,500, is the kind of classic American sports car that instantly puts you in a summer mindset. Top down, V8 rumble, long hood stretching out in front of you. This is pure C3 era attitude. Finished in red with a tan interior, this Corvette absolutely nails the timeless color combo. Red on a C3 just works. The curvy fenders, the sharp nose, and those flowing body lines give it that unmistakable Stingray presence. Being a 1974 model, it carries the cleaner rear design before the full wraparound urethane bumpers became more dominant later in the decade. It's got that classic mid-70s look that still feels bold today. This particular example has 113,000 miles on it and has had just 2 owners. The seller mentions that a lot of work has recently been done, and most importantly, it runs and drives excellent. That's exactly what you want to hear with a vintage convertible. It's not sitting, it's not waiting for a rescue, it's ready to be enjoyed. The automatic transmission makes it easy to cruise. Whether you're rolling through town or taking it out on the highway behind the wheel, this Corvette is all about the experience. The seating position is low and cockpit-like. You're looking over that long sculpted hood, hearing the V8 under acceleration, and feeling the road in a way modern cars just don't deliver anymore. Drop the convertible top, let the exhaust note echo around you, and suddenly every drive feels like an event, even if you're just heading out for coffee. Condition-wise, the car is described as running and driving excellent, with recent work completed. It's already paid off, which means a clean transaction and no financial complications. While it's not described as a fully restored show car, it sounds like a solid, driver-quality classic, something you can enjoy immediately and improve gradually if you choose. As for restoration potential, that's the beauty of a C3 Corvette. You could keep it as a clean weekend cruiser, or take it further with cosmetic detailing, suspension upgrades, or even a performance refresh down the road. The red and tan combination gives you a fantastic base to build on without needing drastic changes. At $22,500, you're stepping into an iconic American convertible that still turns heads nearly 5 decades later. It's a car that blends classic styling, open-top freedom, and that unmistakable Corvette heritage. If you've been thinking about adding a true American sports car to your garage, this 1974 Corvette convertible might just be the one. Let's move on to the next classic. Number 15. The 1979 Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith II, priced at just $4,500. The 1979 Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith II, priced at just $4,500, might be one of the most surprising classic luxury deals out there right now. When you hear Rolls-Royce, you think 6-figure restorations and elite-level ownership. But this one? It's an opportunity, and a very affordable one at that. Finished in brown over a matching brown interior, the Silver Wraith II carries that unmistakable British luxury presence. Long wheelbase proportions, upright grille, and of course the original hood ornament and hubcaps still in place. The seller notes that the vinyl top was damaged at some point and has been replaced with a rhino liner top, which definitely gives it a unique twist compared to the traditional factory finish. It's not Concours perfect, but it adds character, and honestly, it makes this car stand out. With 93,000 original miles, this Rolls runs and drives, although the seller mentions it has some minor issues. It was purchased in Kansas in January 2025 and has only been driven about 100 miles since. That tells you 2 things. It hasn't been sitting abandoned for decades, and it likely just needs some light sorting to become a dependable cruiser again. Behind the wheel, a Silver Wraith II delivers that signature Rolls-Royce experience, smooth, composed, and built like a bank vault. These cars were engineered for comfort first. Thick doors, plush seating, and that commanding upright driving position make you feel like you're piloting something truly substantial. Even at nearly half a century old, a Rolls like this still has presence that modern luxury cars struggle to replicate. Condition-wise, this is clearly not a fully restored showpiece. It's described as a car that would be great for someone willing to put in a few hours of work. That's where the opportunity lies. Minor mechanical or cosmetic attention could transform this from a budget luxury sedan into a respectable weekend classic. The title is in hand, no payments, and the seller is motivated, which makes the deal even more straightforward. As for restoration potential, this is where things get interesting. You're starting with a complete car, original hubcaps, original hood ornament, and a running drivetrain. For someone who appreciates vintage British luxury and doesn't mind doing a bit of tinkering, this could be an incredibly rewarding project. And at this price point, you have room in the budget to improve it without immediately exceeding its value. At $4,500, you're not just buying a car, you're buying entry into the world of Rolls-Royce ownership for less than the price of many used economy cars. If you've ever wanted to say you own a Rolls but thought it was out of reach, this 1979 Silver Wraith 2 might be your chance. Let's move on to the next classic. Number 16. The 1979 Chevrolet Camaro Coupe 2D, priced at just $3,200 US. The 1979 Chevrolet Camaro Coupe 2D, priced at just $3,200 US, is one of those classic second-gen Camaros that screams project car with serious muscle potential. This isn't a polished showpiece. This is raw, old-school American steel waiting for the right hands. Finished in blue, this Camaro carries that aggressive late-70s stance. Long hood, short deck, wide body lines, it still has that unmistakable street presence. The hood is a pin-on setup without hinges, which already hints at its performance-focused direction. Under the hood sits a 305 V8 paired with a TH350 automatic transmission, upgraded with an Edelbrock intake, headers, and an Edelbrock carburetor. That's a solid foundation for a budget street build. It runs and drives good, and the brakes are solid on all four corners. It's sitting on 4 good used tires, and the odometer shows 69,000 miles. But let's be real, this car needs work. There's rust in the lower fender, rear quarters, parts of the trunk, small holes in the passenger floor pan, and the driver's rear frame rail has significant rust. The heater box is gone, and the door hinge bushings need attention. No tags, no insurance, and no test drives. Driving it would feel raw and mechanical. Loud, simple, and very analog. This isn't a daily driver right now, it's a weekend project that could turn into something fun and loud with time and effort. As for restoration potential, this is where it makes sense. At $3,200, you're buying a drivetrain, a body shell, and a chance to build it your way. Patch panels are included for some of the rust areas, and with the right welding and fabrication work, this could become a solid budget muscle car again. If you're not afraid of rust repair and you want an affordable entry into classic Camaro ownership, this one could be your starting point. Let's move on to the next ride. Number 17, the 1978 Mini MGB, priced at $6,800 US. The 1978 Mini MGB, priced at $6,800 US, is exactly the kind of classic British roadster that makes you fall in love with driving all over again. Small, lightweight, manual transmission, top down. This is pure analog fun. Finished in white with a black interior, this MGB has that clean, timeless look that never really goes out of style. The paint is described as reflective and solid, with no rust on the bones, no body filler, and no accident history. That alone is huge when you're talking about vintage British cars. It's not some 10-footer hiding flaws, it's meant to be enjoyed up close and on the road. Under the hood sits the classic 1,800 cubic centimeters engine paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. It starts, runs, shifts, and brakes strong. Oil pressure stays steady at 50 psi, throttle response is crisp, and there's no ticking or smoke. It's been upgraded with a Weber 3236 carb, headers, electric fuel pump, aluminum radiator, dual electric fans, and a long list of new parts, from ignition components to alternator, belts, suspension, brakes, even interior trim pieces. The clutch grabs great, steering is tight, and all gauges and lights are working. That's rare for a classic at this price point. Driving this MGB is about connection. You feel the road, hear the engine, shift through the gears yourself. It's not fast in a modern sense, but it's engaging. Perfect for weekend drives, coffee meets, or just cruising around town with the top down. As for restoration potential, it honestly doesn't need much. It's already sorted mechanically and cosmetically. Maybe reject the carb for optimal performance, replace the heater valve if you plan winter driving, but overall, this is a turnkey classic. It even comes with the original bumper, full tonneau cover, and windscreen. At $6,800, you're getting a very well-sorted MGB that's ready to enjoy immediately instead of draining your wallet with hidden repairs. If you've been thinking about stepping into classic British roadster ownership without taking on a full restoration project, this 1978 MGB might be the sweet spot. Let's move on to the next classic. Number 18, the 1971 Dodge Dart Demon Clone, priced at $16,700 US. The 1971 Dodge Dart Demon Clone, priced at $16,700 US, is pure small block Mopar attitude in a lightweight package. This isn't just an old Dart with stickers. It's built to sound mean, feel aggressive, and deliver that classic early -70s street machine vibe. Finished in red with a black interior, this Demon Clone has the right look, compact body, bold stance, and those American racing rims giving it that timeless muscle car presence. It's not a trailer queen, and the seller is upfront about that, but it's in pretty good shape and absolutely built to be driven. Under the hood sits a 340 setup that sounds mean, backed by a thumper cam and long tube hooker headers. You already know that means a choppy idle and serious attitude at stoplights. It's breathing through a Holley carb and kept cool with an aluminum radiator. Power runs through a brand new 727 automatic transmission to a stout 8 3/4 rear end, a strong, proven Mopar combination. Add front disc brakes, all new brake lines, a new gas tank, and new tires all around, and you've got a car that's been thoughtfully refreshed where it counts. With just 10,000 miles listed and a clean title in hand, the Start runs and drives great. It's already paid off, and while it's had multiple owners, it presents as a solid street machine ready for weekend cruising or local car meets. This thing would feel raw and loud in the best way. The thumper cam gives it that unmistakable lope at idle, and once you step into it, the lightweight A-body platform makes the power feel even stronger. It's the kind of car that turns heads not just because of how it looks, but because of how it sounds pulling away. As for restoration potential, you've got options. Drive it exactly as it is and enjoy it as a clean, strong-running clone, or take it to the next level with show-quality paint, interior detailing, or even more performance upgrades. The foundation is their solid drivetrain, upgraded components, and classic Mopar style. At $16,700, you're getting into real-deal vintage muscle territory without paying Hemi-level money. If you're after that old-school V8 rumble with serious street presence, this 1971 Dart Demon Clone definitely delivers. Let's move on to the next classic. Number 19, the 1990 Eagle Talon TSA AWD Coupe 2D, priced at $6,550 US.
Mira. Préndalo. Y a ver, y préndale esto. Puedes pegar una acelerada para que suene.
The 1990 Eagle Talon TSA AWD Coupe 2D, priced at $6,550 US, is one of those early 90s turbo machines that helped define an entire generation of performance cars. Before modern AWD sport compacts became mainstream, this car was already proving how effective turbo plus all-wheel drive could be. Finished in red with a black interior, this Talon has that unmistakable DSM-era styling. Sharp lines, low stance, pop-up headlights, and a sporty coupe profile that still looks aggressive today. It's a one-owner car with a clean title, and it's already paid off, which is a big plus for a classic from this era. Under the hood sits the turbocharged setup paired with a 5-speed manual transmission. That combination alone makes it fun. Add in the AWD system, and you've got serious grip when you roll into boost. Even with 177,000 miles on the odometer, the seller says there are no issues, and the AC works, which is impressive for a 1990 turbo car. Behind the wheel, this Talon would feel engaging and mechanical in the best way. You control the gears, you feel the turbo spool, and when the boost comes on, the AWD system just pulls you forward with confidence. It's not just about speed, it's about connection. Cars like this built their reputation on tuning potential and driver involvement. Condition-wise, it's described as solid and problem-free, which is important because many of these cars were heavily modified over the years. Finding one that's clean, running right, and seemingly well-kept is getting harder to do, As for restoration or future potential, you've got options. Keep it stock and preserve it as a clean piece of early 90s turbo history, or slowly upgrade it the way DSM fans have done for decades. Either way, it's a strong platform to start with. At $6,550, you're stepping into affordable AWD turbo performance with real nostalgia and real driving engagement. If you've been wanting a classic boost-era import that still delivers fun per dollar, this 1990 Eagle Talon TSI AWD could be the move. Let's roll into the next one. Number 20, the 1978 Chevrolet Malibu, priced at $5,500. The 1978 Chevrolet Malibu, priced at $5,500, is a true late 70s street machine with serious attitude. This isn't just a classic cruiser, it's a built small block car that sounds like it means business the second you turn the key. Finished in yellow with a black interior, this Malibu carries that unmistakable old-school muscle vibe. It sits on chrome rally wheels wrapped in new tires, giving it that proper period-correct stance. The body is described as decent, and while the rear windshield does need to be sealed, overall it presents itself as a solid driver with character. With 299,999 miles on the odometer, this car has clearly been around, but with classics like this, the build matters more than the number. Under the hood, you've got a 355 small block Chevy paired with a Holley-carbon headers, breathing the way a proper carbureted V8 should. It's backed by a built TH350 transmission with a reverse valve body and a 2800 stall converter. Out back, there's a 4.11 rear gear, which tells you right away this car was set up for strong launches and aggressive acceleration. It runs and drives, according to the seller, and it's already paid off. Behind the wheel, expect a raw, analog driving experience. The automatic transmission combined with that stall converter and steep rear gears should make it feel punchy off the line. You'll hear the cam, feel the torque, and get that classic carbureted throttle response. No computer smoothing things out, just old school mechanical energy. As a restoration or project platform, this Malibu gives you options. You could clean up the small cosmetic needs, reseal the rear glass, and enjoy it as a weekend street bruiser. Or take it further with fresh paint, suspension tuning, and interior refinement to really elevate it. The foundation is there for someone who appreciates vintage V8 performance. If you're into classic small block power and that unmistakable late 70s presence, this 1978 Malibu might be exactly the kind of project worth checking out.